Leading up to this final weekend of the Eras Tour in Vancouver, there is so much to talk about.
So we asked you guys what you wanted to know, and y'all delivered. Welcome to Hits Differently. I'm Ryan, and that's Molly.
Shout out to everyone who sent in these questions. We're so excited to get into them. We have some really fun ones, some really interesting ones, like... Will Post Malone take the stage? What will the final surprise songs be of the Eras Tour? What tricks might Taylor have up her sleeve for that final night in Vancouver? What do we think might be in the documentary? All of these things about to be answered. Thank you guys so much. The questions were great. We saw a lot of people in the comments too saying that they just love being able to chat with other Swifties. So if you are one of those people, click the link to join the Discord in the description below. We can't wait to chat with you there. And if you are not subscribed to our channel, click that subscribe button right now. We're getting so close to our goal of 25,000 subscribers by the end of the Eras Tour.
First question comes from Jennifer Morrow 5943 on YouTube and Dazzed Angel on Discord. Do you think Post Malone will be on the stage for one of the last shows?
As much as I would love to clown for this, no, I don't think it's happening. But if it does, that would be so funny.
I just want to scream Post Malone is on the stage. For real! For real.
If you watched our live stream with Amir, then you might have heard us talk about this. He thought, what if Jan puts the face tattoos on and just fakes people out a little bit harder? That would be so good.
And we wouldn't know. On the Granny live stream, we might never actually know if it was actually Post. If he had a wig.
Very different hair. Okay, yeah.
A wig.
He would have to get a beard and
a full-on outfit. That would be so funny. Anyway, he's not on tour again until the 21st when he goes to Brazil. So, I mean, I know he hasn't been doing anything and has been available as of late. And originally I was going to say no. Also, wanted to preface, buckle up for the nuanced answers. Most of them are not, I'm sorry. But if y'all watched our episode on our last Eras Tour show predictions, it's going to give that. So originally I thought no, but then, yeah, sure. I hope he shows up. Taylor knows. Jan knows. Post probably knows. We want him there.
Next question from at FJSKHEZBH-1387 on YouTube asked, do you think Taylor is going to wear all the same outfits on the final night as she did on the opening night?
I do not. I had to think about this for a second, and then I was like, no, because we haven't seen those outfits, obviously, in a very long time. They were kind of retired, where I feel like I did have this thought at one point. I was like, oh, these last shows, is she gonna bring back some OG pieces? But no, sadly not.
Yeah, exactly. If she hadn't changed the 1989 outfit to be new 1989 outfits, obviously Tortured Poets wasn't even on the set list then. I do think for certain eras where she still has the same type of costume, that there's definitely an opportunity for it. Maybe she'll wear the same Lover bodysuit, the same red shirt, but Rep, it's staying gold. It's not going back to red.
Still clowning for that. Next question comes from Daylight Swiftie on YouTube. Do you miss the Evermore dresses? It's funny that I'm the one asking this question.
It is funny because, Ryan, do you miss the Evermore dresses?
So my literal first thought was well, where did they go? What exactly are we referencing? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I couldn't pick it from a lineup. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, guys. In case you're new here, I'm the one with the photographic memory about things and who obsessively follows along with everything. Ryan, while she follows along obsessively, forgets things instantly.
I'm just the numerologist who's adding everything up to equal 13 and 6. So that's where my brain power goes. And if the Folkmore / Evermore set was a clowning set, I would know. But because it isn't, it's my brain is we don't really pay attention to that. So Molly, please answer and explain.
I will say, yes, I miss the Evermore dresses. And do you know what they are? You've just forgotten. Back when we had different eras for Folklore and Evermore, there were different dresses. Ever since May, when she added the Tortured Poet set and combined those eras, she's just been wearing Folklore dresses. So all the ones we've been seeing are all Folklore. The Evermore ones were the yellow with like the pattern on it and the bronze. Remember Kenzie made both of those dresses?
And like the like see-through area?
No,
like
that's the Folklore.
Oh.
That's the one she's wearing.
Well.
So yeah, Ryan doesn't miss them. There you go.
Long story short, I survived and I forgot Evermore, clearly.
From Miriam 22.10 on Instagram. Will either of you be able to go to one of the final shows in Vancouver?
Only if one of y'all is sponsoring the trip. I think about it daily, and I still be checking StubHub, even though I'm in a very large amount of debt from my full send to Florida show. So no, my delusion is like, yeah, never say never. I mean, we still have 2 weeks. I don't know.
I think that we're both struggling to accept the fact that we can't even YOLO hard enough to make it happen. Like, there's just no financial way to do it. And I know that a lot of our viewers are probably in the same boat. So we'll all be watching on a grainy live stream together. The good news is Ryan and I are going to be together at least. If we can't be in Vancouver, at least we can be crying on my couch together. So
thanks to me, I was the one who pitched it. I was like, hey, I was thinking about just like coming to your place for the final shows.
Yeah, I don't know how we hadn't thought of that sooner. Great idea by you.
Thanks. I thought so. Next question comes from Callie Jimerson, 2943 on YouTube. Do you think Taylor doing the countdown during her Midnight Rain song is her counting down to announcing a documentary? The hint being he never thinks of me except when I'm on TV, which is when she does the little move.
I never thought of it that way until I saw this question, and I like it. I like where it's taking us. I think she's counting down to the final shows, but I also think something's going to happen in the final shows.
Yeah, I also never thought of it that way. So I really like that perspective. But no, I don't think that's what it is. I think she's just messing around, or maybe this many shows in, she's like, what do I do now? I don't know. Let's just like start counting. We all love numbers, don't we? Right? We love numbers. What way better way to end than on numbers? And then what's she going to do like the last show? Well, I guess by then we'd said we already would know, assumedly, that she would have dropped something, announced something, whatever, by the time Midnights came around. So it's like, what's the final hand signal going to be? But you would assume by that point it doesn't matter. Unless, dun dun dun, I don't know. Unless it does matter. Because like Amir had clowned about like if she does something at the end of the show and just changes everything up, which we will get to that in a later question about being unrealistic. So we love to live in that land and I'm here for it. So maybe, yep. Sure. But no, not a documentary. I think she's going to announce that on her birthday.
Speaking of documentaries, our next question is from Alan Aaron 2281 on YouTube. What top 5 things would you want to see in a behind the scenes documentary? When I started writing down my couple of things, I like couldn't stop. I have like so many things I want to see in this documentary.
Oh my gosh.
You go first though.
Her tour routine. What did she eat? What was her exercise? How much did she sleep? Her prep before the show. Post-show happenings. Travis, when he was at the show. Family, friends. Like whether she went and hung out with people or whether it's just like her like debriefing for the night if she didn't have plans.
Right. I also had like her recovery after the show. So like obviously
right.
I don't think it could be every night that she has something going on
right
afterwards, especially when she has another show the next day. What does that look like? Is she like an athlete? To be clear, yes, I think she is an athlete, but is she like taking ice baths? Does she get IVs, like massages?
Drop that routine, girl. That would be a gift to all of us. I mean, not like we need that routine in our life because none of us are preparing for anything of that magnitude ever. Has her routine changed? Like doing this part long, is she just like literally her body and everything's just like good? Tavis, which who would have thought I would put that as something I want to see more of in the documentary? But obviously I know we're going to get some of that and we're all going to be living for it. Fourth thing, more video of underneath the stage. We got to see a little bloop of it with her on the little moving thing. I want to see more of it. I want to see what's going on down there. And the last thing, prize song / outfit prep. I want to see the mastermind of her being like on TikTok and being like, man, people really want this mashup, or they're really clowning for this, or blah, blah, blah. Like, let's just do it.
If that's how she's getting her information. I feel like for her to keep a healthy, like, mental state, she probably, like, can't go on social media all the time. I think sometimes she's just genuinely coming up with this stuff, and other times she's
Taylor Nation is lurking, so they're reporting back. They're saying, hey, Taylor, this is what people are going on about.
Yeah.
Could be fun.
I had a lot of what you just said and like the other things kind of going all the way back to the beginning. How did she pick the set list? What was the thought process there? Like not including anything from debut or only including one song from Speak Now, like those kinds of things. How she made those decisions, how she chooses the outfits, what her vocal training was like. How did she get her voice prepared to be able to do 3.5 hours, mostly 3 nights in a row, sometimes 4, like crazy. And then how far in advance was she planning surprise songs, especially when she wasn't repeating? Did she have it planned out, or did she kind of let herself go with like, I want to sing what I'm feeling tonight for like a while? And then finally just like some more of the logistics to not just of her and her schedule and things like that, but like her crew and just other behind the scenes logistics. Like if they have a special guest, like what does that look like? How did they surprise us with Sabrina without us knowing that she was there? Things like that. I would love to know. So many things. I hope the documentary, like in reality, is probably just going to be like a movie style, like an hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever. But I would love for it to be like a series of like, this was the lead up. This was the US leg. This was Europe, or this was the in-between when we added TTPD and like we did the training for that, and like take it all the way through in a series to like the end.
Yeah, there's so much content. But I'm hopeful that we'll get some good stuff because Miss Americana was wild. And we got some like really like personal footage of her and her opinion and like her talking to people and stuff. So I know it's going to be really good. Next question comes from Buffy fan 92 on Instagram. Okay, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Are you a Twilight fan too, by chance? Can you rank your top 10 Eras Tour concerts?
This question alone like short-circuited me. I'm like, that's so hard to do. But we have good news for you. While there's no way Ryan and I could answer this question right now, we have been thinking about potentially doing a like top 5 or top 10 series after the Eras Tour, which would be voted on by the viewers for things like this. Top surprise guests, top surprise song sets, top announcement shows, things like that. So if that's something that you guys would be interested in, let us know in the comments because we might just do that. From Maria Cruz -OB6LE on YouTube. Will Taylor bring back Long Live for the last concert in Vancouver? And who could the celebrities be at the last concert?
So when I first read this question, it had me clowning and being a little crazy. And I was like, yes. But again, I feel like she has so many things that she's got to get in. I don't think that she would, because it seems kind of like unfair to all the people who didn't get it. And I say that even knowing though that it was on the set list and then she took it away again. So like, but I think it's definitely going to be a surprise song for sure. Maybe the last night.
When I read this question, I started to think, what if the final weekend in Vancouver, oh my gosh, I know as I'm about to say this, it's going to spiral.
Wait, don't say it yet.
All right, fine.
I know what you're going to say.
My thought,
because I had the same thought.
To answer the question, yes, I do think there's a chance she brings back Long Live, and we'll elaborate on that in a little bit. And for celebrities, we saw a lot of her close friends, famous friends, come to the tour throughout the last year and a half. How cool would it be if on like the last night, it's like Blake and Ryan and Selena and Gigi and just like all of those people are there. We know Travis can't be there because there's a Chiefs game literally at 8:30 p.m.
Lame.
Obviously, I think all of her family will be there, but I'm hoping it would be really cool to see a lot of her friends show up.
It's funny though, your list of celebrities was literally Same. The only ones I would add on would be like the Haim sisters.
Oh, yeah. And Jack.
Sabrina. Oh my God, this is making me think of unrealistic things again. We're gonna. Woo. Next question comes from Whispered Wish 348 on YouTube. Why has she not played several Taylor's version songs? Not the super emotional ones. I understand why she won't play those. But for example, That's When, Bye Bye Baby, and Girl at Home. It makes no sense. You know what? You're right. And it reminded me of probably our Eras Tour, like end of Eras Tour predictions when we talked about will she end up playing all of her discography minus the sad ones. And I was like, oh my God, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, why the heck not? You had 149 shows. Sorry, I'm answering the question for you. Clearly, I skipped over. I was like, sorry. Yeah, my initial reaction was just like, clearly got me really riled up. I was like, wait, you're right. Why the heck not? Molly?
Yeah, I think specifically for That's When, Bye Bye Baby, and Girl at Home, I am surprised she didn't work them in at some point. Out of those three, like Bye Bye Baby, I guess could make sense as like a goodbye song mashup to be mashed up with something else. But I don't see those other two being played at this point.
No.
There was a certain anticipation when she was not repeating that like getting deep cuts like that was really exciting. And at this point, it would feel a little bit more random. Like I think we're expecting her most iconic songs.
I was going to ask you, because I know you know this, are those the last three left outside of the sad songs that she hasn't played?
Yeah, like the other sad songs would be like Forever Winter or Soon You'll Get Better and Ronin. There's Only the Young, which I did think
she hasn't played that.
I know. I was thinking that we would have gotten that at one of the final US shows potentially due to the timing of things, but we didn't.
And like to finish the Eras Tour without having done as many as possible, I apologize for her for if any of those songs are your favorite songs, because dang, you're like, if she was ever going to play it, this would be the time. So if she's not playing it now, it's like almost saying like, you will never hear this live ever again.
Yeah, I mean, for That's When and Bye Bye Baby, it's like never hear live ever because they were vault tracks. So like they never were on tour. Yeah. From Sophie Barnes 09 on Instagram, what mashup of debut and rep songs do you want to see, or which ones that already played did you like the most? So for those of you who don't know, the debutation mashups that she already played. In Miami, she played Should Have Said No and I Did Something Bad. Iconic. In New Orleans, she played Our Song and Call It What You Want. What are your picks?
This was hard for me. I wanted to go outside the box and do a debut song that wasn't part of that list, which is hard because it's easier to come up with the rep songs. But I went in deep with this and ready for it. Debut. What is a more iconic song, obviously, or like face of than Teardrops on My Guitar, right? It's where it all freaking began. Mashed up with Gorgeous.
Oh.
Wait for it. Drew walks by me. Sorry for my singing. Can you tell that I can't breathe? And there he goes so perfectly. The kind of flawless I wish I could be. You make me so happy it turns back to sad. There's nothing I hate more than what I can't have. You are so gorgeous it makes me so mad.
I love that.
Right? And the vibe is like kind of similar. And I was like, ooh, way to turn like a sad ass song of like not having this man and then being like, cause you're so gorgeous, you know? Come on. Now I want it. I'm like, if I don't get this mashup, I'm gonna be mad. And we're not gonna get it. I'm so
look
sorry.
Look at your face.
Right? Because she just keeps talking about how flawless
and
he is.
Here's the reason for the teardrops on my guitar. Wow.
Right?
Guess I'll just stumble on home to my cats.
Right? Come on.
Alone?
Unless you want to come along. Oh! All right. I was pretty proud of that. And I came up with that real quick. I was like, looking up the lyrics. I was trying to be like, you know, like the people who do the most, then we love it after the surprise songs and they put the lyrics next to each other and you're like, holy, the crossover. And I was like, I'm gonna do my own.
She takes it one step further and she brings Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' daughter on stage to go, gorgeous.
Gorgeous. And then she brings Drew out. Everyone welcome Drew. Anyway, I was pretty proud of that. So no pressure. What do you got?
To be clear, I don't know that it can get better than Should Have Said No and I Did Something Bad. Like,
I know that's why
the
it was
question
hard.
did say if there's one that was already played, and I mean, iconic. I had two potential mashups. One of them does not like melodically flow together whatsoever, so I can't sing it beautifully like you were just doing. Okay, so that one is Mary's song in Endgame. This is just my Tavis fantasy mashup because Mary's song is the song where she says, I'll be 87, you'll be 89. I'll still look at you like the stars that shine in the sky.
Wanna be
Big
in
reputation.
game.
Big reputation. Oh, you got big reputations. Ah.
I mean, also a vibe.
These are just like the songs that I cannot believe she wrote before she met Travis, but they work so perfectly for their relationship. And then the next one that would just be really fun is Should Have Said No, and This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. You should have said no, 'cause this is why we can't have nice things.
Wait, I was also going to do This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. Was it also going to be Should Have Said No? Yeah, I think it was going to be.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah,
I think Should Have Said No is both of our favorite debut songs.
It just goes well with so many songs. So many. Better Man. Woo! Great question, Sophie. Love that. And now I just want that mashup. Here's looking at you, Taylor. Next question comes from Margaret Chalmers 9551 and Icy Flame 716 on YouTube. Surprise song predictions for the last 3 shows.
I feel like Ryan and I are not mentally prepared to answer this question yet. There are certain songs that I've been thinking about for like the final night, but I don't know that I have the full picture. We're going to think about it. We're going to be doing another episode together before the final shows, and we might be bringing back a mirror. So you'll have to tune into that one to figure out what our final predictions will be.
But it was definitely on our list for sure. Definitely something we want to hypothesize and clown about. It's a great question.
From S. Marie Walker or Marie Walker on YouTube. From one reputation clown to another. Do we think she'll announce the dates for rep and debut at the last show? So a lot of you, of course, are asking about the final show and debutation. At Manon Hollett 5221 on YouTube said, what do you think will happen on December 8th? And the way this was phrased made me laugh. From nx.nxlli on Instagram, predictions for the last show, be unrealistic, guys. Perfect.
I was like, I don't even need to
Ryan.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need prep for this. I live in the world of delusion and being unrealistic. It's weird that thinking about if debutation is, or if the re-release announcements are going to happen during the last show. At this point, I feel like my brain is so mixed up. I don't even know anymore what to think, which tends to be the case. I've gone back and forth. I've said no, it's going to distract from the end of the tour, blah, blah, blah. But I will just say and stand that it would be a wildly missed opportunity to not announce at least one of the albums before the end of the tour, just because it's such a unique thing to do. I sadly am believing less and less in debutation at this point. I think she did those mashups just around, and maybe we'll find out, but I don't know. It's been real quiet. Molly? That was a mic, not a ball.
I know.
Hello, TV.
Part of me still is holding out for my debutation theory that she announces both albums, but they have different release dates. I still think that would make sense and be really cool. When we were talking with Amir on the live stream before Toronto Night 6, we were all kind of coming to the consensus that the final show would be kind of nice for it to just like be one big Eras celebration and for us to not be anxiously awaiting an announcement, because I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, because like a standard night on the Eras tour or closing night of the Eras tour without an announcement is still an amazing, incredible night. We will all be crying. We'll all be in our feels. But obviously, we all been waiting for these announcements. Like Ryan said, having that environment of like her announcing Speak Now in 1989 on the tour was so electric. Like, I want that for both debut and reputation. And if she hasn't announced it going into the final night, the anticipation will be really high. There will be people who will say they're disappointed if they don't get it. That's probably an unpopular opinion. That's not necessarily how I will feel. I have a very quick rebound rate after clowning, but I want want it to happen on the Eras tour. I really do.
Which is funny because it's like, on one hand, we say like if she was to wait until the last show to announce, it would take away from the end of the Eras tour. But at the same time, having not done it yet will still take away because, yeah, the clowns are going to be the clowns are going to be the most unhinged they've ever been. And I say this as a clown myself. She could easily, on December 6th, night 1 of Vancouver, could just give us what we want, cash it all in, and then we can shut up. And by then we know. She's like, here you go. Okay, anyway, back to the tour. I think that's the best of both worlds. So that'd be cool. Where I'm at. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for that.
Speak Now the first night in Nashville. It wasn't the final night of the weekend. Yeah. So,
and technically we won't see it coming, even though we always see it coming. So, all right, now unrealistic, which I know it's probably what you were going to say about Long Live. What if she brought all the stuff back? That wouldn't really work with the length of the show, but you know what? Maybe night 3, there's no rules, or the last night there's no rules, and it could just be a 4-hour show. I don't know. But she just full sends it. She brings back The Archer, and Tolerate It, and Long Live, and 'Tis the Damn Season, and then also the Haim sisters are there, and they're singing Nobody No Crime, and then we also have Phoebe Bridgers. That's like the stretch. I really just push that. I don't think, obviously, no, but some level of that. And then obviously my first thought was the I Did Something Bad performance, which I don't want to put that as an unrealistic thing because I want that to actually happen. And Amir like really took it and was like, what if she did that performance again after the Midnights set and just like ends the show? And I was like, that is, whew, he took that on another planet, but I'm here for it. We need to see the iconic lift. Where is it? I don't know. It lives in my head rent free. Where's Karen? Oh yeah, Karen's part of my unrealistic dream. So, everyone comes back. It's like the finale. It's like, all right, here's all our friends. They're back. Here's Jack, here's Sabrina. Like, everyone's there. We're all vibing. There's mashups. There's collabs. That's my dream.
This just shows like how my brain always has to go back to like the logic of it all. Like as you were saying that, I'm like, well, she couldn't do 'Tis the Damn Season and Nobody No Crime because she took 'Tis the Damn Season off the set list whenever they performed Nobody No Crime.
Oh my God.
I hate to be this person.
Wait, so what was yours that involved Long Live? I need to know.
That was it. Yeah.
Okay. Similar?
Yeah, that she like brings back everything. But I do think there could be a scenario where she brings back just Long Live because obviously like that's one of the easiest things to add back on. But yeah, as soon as I started thinking about that, I was like, just like you said, what if we get the Archer again?
The OG set list plus TTPD.
Crazy. It'd be crazy.
Simple.
Yeah.
Easy. What? That's an extra like however long TTPD is, 30 minutes? I'm sure everyone would gladly stay 4 hours,
Also, one thing to note for when we make our final surprise song predictions, that Tolerate It is the only song that she took off the set list that she hasn't played as a surprise song since. Like, she's played The Archer.
She has played 'Tis the Damn Season.
She's played Long Live.
We got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That seems a little emo to be playing that in the last 3 shows, but like, I'm here for it. I know more people were upset about losing Long Live, and I was like, yeah, but Tolerate It. Like, come on, guys. Play the table with the fancy I don't know.
I would love to have special guests every night like she did the last weekend in London too, but I'm starting to feel like we're just kind of also returning to just the standard Eras Tour shows, but obviously like with the mashups, and that is also enough. Whatever it is,
Molly, we're not here to think from a standpoint of what's enough, okay? Obviously it's all enough, but like, what do we want?
We want Karen.
We want Karen. Yeah, I guess if I had to pick any of the nonsense we just said, Karen.
Yeah.
At the minimum, give us Karen.
Karen with I Did Something Bad. All right, we just have a couple more questions. J. Chris Clifton on YouTube. When Taylor blows out 35 candles on her birthday cake in a few weeks, assuming she doesn't instead use a fire extinguisher, what do you think her birthday wish will be? Please tell me you got the fire extinguisher reference.
I did, okay? It took me a second, but then I got it. God, Gracie, hello. I don't know. I mean, what's something that she hasn't won yet? An EGOT EGOT? Is she going for the EGOT?
So that's literally what I was going to say is she's wishing for that Grammy for Album of the Year to run it back to back. And she's never won for Song of the Year.
Okay.
Our girl loves awards. We know that.
Yeah. That's where my head goes. I'm like, what does a girl who has everything want?
Just keep breaking records. Yeah.
Yeah. Get them numbers. Get them get them
trophies. Get after it.
Next question comes from Tess7 on YouTube. Are you guys going to Target in person to get the book and anthology on vinyl? Please vlog if you do, which I like that suggestion because I didn't even think about that.
I did think about that. I'm definitely going to Target in person. I am potentially dragging Alex with me. Either way, I will be vlogging it. It'd be a lot easier if he goes with me.
Of course he's going to go with you.
Do it for the content. Impunity84 on YouTube, who is a member. Shout out to our members. If you want to join our memberships, that information is available like right next to where the subscribe button is. We also have a link in our description of the episode. And if you are a member, you get to see some fun behind the scenes content for our channel, which most importantly includes bloopers. We do make a lot of ridiculous mistakes as we're recording, and you can watch them. This person asked, does Travis wearing plaid mean anything?
Well, it made me think about the fact that they have color coordinated outfits as of late, even when they haven't been together.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it, but I'm here for it. I'm here for the couple coordinating long distance, you know? And thank you for being a member, by the way. We really appreciate it.
Love you. This question comes from Angela5565-U2F on YouTube. What was each of your favorite Tay-related moments from the past 2 years?
This is hard because, first of all, I feel like this question can be interpreted a couple different ways. Taking it from a personal level, like as cheesy as this answer is, there were like so many moments over the last 2 years of like you and I and Alex and big Taylor moments that just looking back is so nostalgic already, even though it's recent history, you know? We're just lucky to be able to like enjoy Taylor together. But if we're talking about a Taylor moment, like from her perspective, which is I think what they probably meant with this question, they probably did not mean our own personal Taylor moments. I, again, think it's really hard to pick, but I would go with her Grammy win for Midnights when then she announced Tortured Poets because iconic. But on a personal level for her, I have to go with the London show when Travis got on stage. Listen, Taylor is way bigger than any of her relationships. I'm not trying to like equate my favorite Taylor moment to like a man, but just in general, we know she loves that. Come on, having her partner like be so publicly supportive of her and like be comfortable with the limelight to be able to participate in something like that. Not only was it cool for us as fans, but that must have just been so cool for her. Like she's never had someone support her in that kind of a way and show up like that. And it was amazing.
It's interesting that you gave like the two different perspectives because originally I was like, yes, it's impossible to really dial it in. So like outside of the obvious like big tour moments for me of like, you know, the re-release announcements, Florida with Florence was, I mean, that still like is big for me again. Florida and Florida, the whole thing. Yeah, that will be one of the moments. Outside of like the big moments during the tour, I thought that one of the coolest things that we've seen with Taylor is like just the progression of where she started when the tour started, like from like a mental health perspective, a relationship standpoint, all the stuff, and just seeing the growth and then like getting TTPD and like hearing I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, knowing that's what she was doing that first like chunk of the tour. And we had no idea, and like songs back then that like she wasn't playing, and like how we barely heard any rep songs, and like to now she's just good. And it's
she's
just
healed.
such a why. I guess that's what happens when you're on tour for like literally almost 2 years, is like you would hope by now she's in a better place than where she started. But like, yeah. And like how comfortable she is. Obviously in the very beginning, it was, you know, the nerves and stuff. And now she's just like having fun with it. And we've been there literally with her on like her own personal journey that she's lived through this tour, which is really cool. Like the crossover has been like really cool.
That's a really good one. Yeah, I co-sign all of that. From Alexa on Instagram, shout out out to Alexa. Predictions for what Taylor's going to do after the tour ends and thoughts on future tour themes after the Eras tour.
Knowing her, because like she will rest for like 5 seconds and then be like, I'm bored. Which same. I know we've clowned about TS12 is definitely in the works. It's definitely coming. I do think it's going to come next year in 2025.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, which doesn't really make sense. Well, that plays into like if we get rep this year, like a New Year's Eve and whatever. Yeah, TS12, I think we're going to get glitter gel pen theme, the oranges, the pinks, the sunset, sunrise, just like a warm hug kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah, obviously there's so much more to talk about with this than in just this episode of like what we think could come next. But my simplest, most concise answer right now is, yeah, she's a planner. She already, I think, probably has her plans for the next like year to 2 years, like career wise. So that's the final re-records, working on a new album, a documentary, and there have been rumors since before the Eras tour started that she's going to be the director of a film in some way.
Ooh.
So I think we'll probably get more info about that. She doesn't like to rest, but I just hope in general, like personally, that now we get to see her just kind of like living her life whenever she wants to share that publicly, like whether that's going to Chiefs games, like going out to dinner with her friends. I'd love to see more things like her at Coachella or like being able to like go to like concerts or movie premieres or whatever. And then future tour themes after the Eras tour. I don't know. It's going to be so interesting to see whatever she does next for a tour, because I do wish we could have gotten a full Midnights tour with deep cuts from the album being like a more primary focus. Like Folklore and Evermore, I don't know if that would have worked as like a stadium tour, but obviously Tortured Poets, there are so many other songs on Tortured Poets that I would have wanted to.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, well, of course. Gosh, all the way back to freaking Loverfest.
Justice for Lover. Yeah.
Yeah. So part of me is really excited that whatever comes next, seems hard to think that she would go back to just doing like a standard album tour. I feel like whatever she does will always be groundbreaking, but we'll see.
It is truly hard to imagine, normal tour. Like only an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And like only one album and like maybe one surprise song. Unless she has another album like TTBD and it's like 30 something songs, and then it's like she's built the production for the show.
Yeah.
Like TTBD could easily be a whole thing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see something like Lemonade style for an album of hers where she has like just a continuous visuals to go with the album. That would be really cool.
Doing what she used to do, like mixing it, like mashing it up throughout, like with older songs, like that would be really fun.
Whatever comes next, we will be here for. We'll be here for you guys to talk about it, clown and break down, you know what we do. And we also, as sad as we are for the Eras tour to end, we're also really excited for some of the other content that we're going to have for you guys. So as always, please subscribe to our channel if you aren't already. We're getting so close to our goal of 25,000, and we're going to have so much for you guys after the Eras tour. This is not where we end. Some people have been asking us that. Like, what are you going to do after the Eras tour? Like, no. We have a lot planned. Okay, just wait.
If anything, we've been pausing half of our ideas because the Eras tour is going on and that's the main focus. But like, we got stuff, we got notes.
So thanks to everyone for submitting these questions. This was really fun to answer all of them.
Yeah, y'all really showed up for this, so appreciate you immensely.
All right, we will talk to you again soon before Vancouver. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.